that goods and services being produced in the country are world class? Do you also know that goods and services being offered are cheaper when compared with foreign products without compromising standards? Why therefore do you condemn and devalue homemade goods to the advantage of foreign manufacturers? Let's change our attitude.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining Oyo State Today on BCOS television. I am Belumi Asende. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, the state chapter, has charged all political parties, stakeholders, party leaders, aspirants, as well as the electorate to prioritize peace, service, and the pace-setter legacy as the political atmosphere begins to gather momentum ahead of the 2027 general elections. IPAC gave the charge in a statement signed by the state chapter chairman, Mr. Opeyemi Akiade. According to the statement, IPAC has observed with concern the rising temperature of the political discourse in the state and therefore called on aspirants and their supporters to maintain the highest level of decorum and allow peace to reign. It's noted that Oyo State, which has historically stood as a pace-setter state, a beacon of intellectual politics and administrative excellence, must collectively resolve that the ghost of the 1962 Operation Wetie, which ravaged southwestern Nigeria, will never be invited back into the street. IPAC reminded all actors that politics is about service and sacrifice, not conflict or confrontation, adding that the quest to lead must never be a reason to destroy the very people one intends to serve. It also condemned the growing trend of disrespect toward elders and the revered traditional institutions. IPAC, however, called on the security agencies to remain vigilant and neutral and charged the electorate to reject any invitation to act as agents of destruction for any politician's ambition. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of the state is set to resume the third phase of the continuous voter registration CVR exercise as from Monday, 11th May to Friday, 30th July 2026, with both the online pre-registration and physical in-person registration across the state, which is in line with the 2026 approved timetable of the exercise. In a media release, the Resident Electoral Commissioner, REC, in the state, Professor Adeniran Tella, noted that the third phase of the exercise would also accommodate the rotational movement of INEC voter enrollment device, IVED machines, across all the 33 registration areas of INEC local government area offices in the state as from Monday, 11th May to Friday, 3rd July 2026, respectively. The REC stated further that the timing for the CVR exercise, including the rotational movement of IVED machines, would be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, excluding weekends and public holidays respectively, adding that at the state INEC offices and 33 local government area INEC offices, prospective registrant could also be registered within the stipulated time frame. Professor Taylor urged all eligible citizens to take full advantage of the final phase of the CVR exercise, adding that the same would give all eligible registrants the opportunity to register. It said those that want to change their polling unit or state from one place to another can do so while those who have their permanent voter cards, PVCs, defaced or lost can do the needful, and those yet to collect their PVCs have the opportunity to collect their printed PVCs at the various INEC local government areas offices. Stakeholders in the agriculture, security, and livestock sectors have renewed calls for strict compliance with the State Open Rearing and Grazing Regulation Law 2019 as part of efforts to strengthen peace, security, and harmonious coexistence across the state. The call was made at a stakeholders summit organized by the State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority, OILEA, in Ibadan. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdurrafi was there to
navigating the Oyo State Anti-Open Rearing and Grazing Law, ensuring adherence and advancing sustainable livestock management authority. While highlighting the provisions of the law, former president of the Customary Court of Appeal, Osun State, Justice Wasiu Akanbi, retired, explained that the legislation was enacted to tackle real societal challenges such as farmer-elder conflicts, destruction of farmlands, threats to public safety, and disruptions to livelihoods. Justice Akanbi stated that the law provides a legal framework aimed at ensuring order, protecting investments, and promoting peaceful coexistence among residents, while also stipulating penalties for violators.
In this ranching family, we need to agree with, we normally give preference to those within or near institutions who are landowner. The ranching family is there for 3 years.
Rule of Law Enforcement Authority, OILEA, Justice Aderunke Aderemi, retired, stressed that beyond the existence of any law, compliance remains the key factor in achieving its objectives. She noted that a law that is not obeyed cannot deliver value to society, emphasizing that adherence to the Open Rearing and Grazing Regulation Law is fundamental to sustaining peace, security, and development in Oyo State. Justice Aderemi commended the commitment demonstrated by stakeholders at the summit, including security agencies, community leaders, farmers, and elders, describing it as a positive step toward addressing recurring farmers-elders clashes in the state.
The herders said what was in their mind. The farmers said what was in their mind. Along the line, I discovered that at a time, they were having meetings before, but that I don't know how the meeting stopped. But all of a sudden, the two parties said, hey, it's time for them to raise up the meeting again. And they're going to find a solution to their problem. That by the end of the month, they will come back to me and tell me the way forward. But that they're ready. The herders said they're ready to settle. Herders shouldn't be on farm settlement or on any farm. And that farmers too should not, kill their cows or something. But the two of them, they've agreed that it's time for them to settle this problem.
In a remark, Chairman of Mieti Ala Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Southwest Zone, Alhaji Mohammed Kabir, expressed readiness to collaborate with the Oyo State government and other stakeholders to ensure peaceful coexistence among farmers and elders.
We could meet together, the both commodities, crop farmers and livestock farmers, together in regards to the rule of law. Those laws that were established by the state government regarding to open grazing, a ban of open grazing in the states. We actually thank God that we partake in the process, establishing of those laws. We also give our own contribution, and we're happy. Part of the contribution we raised was we also have a long-time solution and short-time solution. All those things need to be considered. Sensitization needs to be considered. We need to sensitize our members regards to the law. We need to also register our members in North and Crown of the state to tell them where to establish their ranches or where not to establish their ranches.
Representatives of the Oyo State Farm Settlers Association, Livestock Dealers and Breeders Association, Valley Agbe in Council, Oyo State Chapter, and the Pastoral Growers Association also underscored the importance of sustained awareness creation and collective vigilance in ensuring effective implementation of the law.
Oyo established the council in 1994. Mandate for the way a something to exist among families. We have done a lot of groundwork. Then we are going to do it. Remember, take the entire report for the entire local government in terms of what you arrivé taux de settle. Si àwọn ọba yìí sábà jọ jẹ́ corporate.
Mentioned during my last speech that police, civil defense are shying away from their responsibility. When Amotekun that were being given to us by the government, after the arrest, when they get these people arrested, the next thing they do is to go to police. They will tell us that the case is about their hand. They will take our case to police. And we all know police.
The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Ademola Adenito, and the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Barrister Olasokomi Olaleye, represented by Dr. Bukola Akinleye, in respective goodwill messages, emphasized the need to curb the menace of open grazing and rearing, citing its environmental, health, and security implications.
Whatever animal rearing anybody is doing must be done according to the laws of the state and in restricted locations where they don't interfere with people's lives, activities, and people's personal effects.
We want to go into the modern way of producing livestock so that we can have higher productivity in livestock aspect, and also the farmers, crop farmers are not disturbed because it's every of these their businesses. When we talk of livestock, it's a business. When we talk of crop farming, it's a business, and we want to believe that no business should disturb the other business.
The event also attracted representatives of the Secretary to the Oyo State Government, Professor Musiba Babatunde, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Abiodun Aikomo, Esquire, the Director General, Oitma, Major Adekoya Adesagba, retired, among other stakeholders. Participants at the summit expressed optimism that with stronger collaboration, public enlightenment, and the enforcement of the law, lasting solutions to farmer herders' conflicts and improved security can be achieved in Oyo State. Adebayo Abdurafi, BCOS News.
The State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority earlier has outlawed the trading of livestock, including fowls, sheep, goat, and cattle at setbacks of major roads across cities and towns in the state. The chairperson earlier, Justice Aderonke Aderemi, stated this in an interview on the sideline of a stakeholders summit on adherence to the state open rearing and grazing regulation law in Ibadan. According to her, emergency livestock traders who always take advantage of festive periods to put up unauthorized selling points at various setbacks of major roads would no longer be tolerated. Justice Aderemi stressed that anyone who is caught for non-compliance of the new rule would have their animals seized outrightly or they could be subjected to fine, advising emergency traders to take their livestock to designated markets. She further reiterated that rearing of cattle in residential area is a violation of the anti-open rearing and grazing law. Hence, government will not hesitate to deal decisively with violators. She speaks further.
We have told everybody that Ileya Festival is just round the corner, and there's this bad practice where the people will be selling goat, sheep on the road. The setback of the road is not the right market, and I've used this opportunity, this conference, to tell everybody that it's not business as usual again. If you sell anything at the side of the road, we're going to arrest all of them. The owners and even the chicken, the goats, and the sheep, we're going to take all of them. And if possible, if the law allows me, we'll not give them back to them again. That's what is going to happen. So everybody should sit up and keep their wares out away from the side of the road.
BCOS TV is now on Niger TV app, and you can watch us from any part of the world. Also, BCOS website is live. Kindly visit www.bcostv.com. You can also reach us on GoTV, channel 134 and channel 113 on Star Times. And now, before I go, contribute your quota to move Oyo State forward. And that ends Oyo State Today. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
do we encourage people to go into agriculture, considering the fact that agric itself is facing a lot of challenges?
Yeah, I think one, we must do a sensitization or enlightenment. You see, unfortunately, most of our youth, when they go outside the country, they do what they don't want to do in Nigeria. Yeah, many of them, they can go and work on the farm, and in that farm, the only difference is that there is light and all of that, regular electricity and all of that, but they still do the same thing. So I think that the need for us to encourage our youth, you know, because if you want food security to be enhanced in this country, there is a need to encourage our youth to participate actively. Agric is a profession that one should be proud of.
Gbọ́dọ̀ dá ẹsẹ̀ ya kọlọ̀rọ̀ sí báyìí náà wo ọgbádúró ilẹ̀ yìí ọ̀fẹ́ dànù odò àní ẹ mọ́ fẹ̀mí ara yín ṣòfò àti dúkìá mọ́ wọ́n ní ẹ mọ́ dalẹ̀ sójú àgbàrá wàá lù mọ́ kọ́lé sójú àgbàrá túùlù wọ́n ní ọmọ kọ́ búkà tàbí lè gbafẹ́ ẹ mọ́ kọ́ ojú àgbàrá àti lé epo omi yalẹ́lẹ̀ ń fà lẹ́sẹ̀ yìí ẹ̀ tó mọ́ dá wàhálà mi lẹ́ tí bí yìí bá dí àwa máa gbégbá gbéjù gbégboro ó rí gboro ni ó rí bí ìjọba ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ mọ́ tónítóní ṣé bí ẹ pèsè bí ẹ mọ̀ dalẹ̀ sí ọmọ náà bẹ̀. gbé padà gbé padà síbi tó ti mọ̀ gbélẹ̀. ìjọba náà ò ní gbà fún yín òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ là ń sọ fún yín omi dé òjò tó ti sálulẹ̀ má dalẹ̀ sójú àgbàrá.
Ẹ káàsán, a kú iṣẹ́ látàárọ̀. Ìròyìn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni mo mú wá fún yín, Bùnmi Elégbèdé lórúkọ tèmi. Ìgbìmọ̀ olùgbaninímọ̀ràn láti inú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kan sí òmíràn IPAC ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti rọ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ẹlẹ́kajẹ̀ka àti àwọn aṣáájú olóṣèlú, àwọn olùdíje tó fi mọ́ àwọn olùdìbò láti mú àlàáfíà, iṣẹ́ sin aráàlú àti fífi ìpìlẹ̀ rere lélẹ̀ lọ́kùnkúndùn bí agbo òṣèlú ṣe ń gbáradì láti rọ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ báyìí ṣáájú ètò ìdìbò gbogbogbò tí yóò wáyé lọ́dún 2027. Ìgbìmọ̀ IPAC ṣàlàyé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí alága rẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọpẹ́yẹmí Akínadé fi síta. Àtẹ̀jáde náà jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé ìgbìmọ̀ olùdáninímọ̀ràn náà wòye bí ohun gbogbo ṣe ń lọ lágbo òṣèlú nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Ó wá ké sí àwọn olùdíje àtàwọn alátìlẹyìn wọn láti jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà kó jọba o nínú ohun gbogbo tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe. Bákan náà ló wòye pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti ní ìtàn nípa àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ pípẹ́ ẹ̀dá nínú òṣèlú àti lágbọn ìṣàkóso, wọ́n sì gbọ́dọ̀ jùmọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ láti má ṣe jẹ́ kí irúfẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó wáyé lọ́dún 1962 tí wọ́n pè ní Operation Wettier, èyí tó gba ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn gúúsù ilẹ̀ yìí kan, má tún wáyé. Ìgbìmọ̀ IPAC wá ké sí àwọn àjọ aláàbò gbogbo láti máa fojú sọ́rí o kí wọ́n sì tàkété sí òṣèlú bí ó ṣe ń rọ àwọn olùdìbò láti kó ìpàkọ́ sí ohunkóhun tó lè pagidínà àfojúsùn àwọn olóṣèlú faraàlú. Wáyé àjọ elétò ìdìbò nílẹ̀ yìí INEC ẹ̀ka tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti ṣetán láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ abala kẹta ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ fún káàdì ìdìbò alálòpẹ́ láti ọjọ́ Ajé ọjọ́ 11 oṣù karùn-ún títí di ọjọ́ Ẹtì 30 oṣù keje ọdún yìí fún ìforúkọsílẹ̀ lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára àti lójúkorojú káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ yìí, èyí tó wà ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àlàkalẹ̀ ètò náà tọdún 2026. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí kọmíṣánná àjọ elétò ìdìbò nílẹ̀ yìí ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adéníran Tẹ̀lá fi síta, ó ṣàlàyé pé abala kẹta ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ náà yóò tún fààyè gba gbígbé ẹ̀rọ ìforúkọsílẹ̀ káàkiri àwọn ibùdó ìforúkọsílẹ̀ 23 tí ó jẹ́ ti àjọ ọ́fíìsì INEC láwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ Ajé ọjọ́ 11 oṣù karùn-ún sí ọjọ́ Ẹtì ọjọ́ kẹta oṣù keje ọdún yìí. Kọmíṣánná tún fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ pé ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ náà yóò máa wáyé láàrin aago 9 òwúrọ̀ sí aago 3 ọ̀sán lójoojúmọ́ yàtọ̀ sí òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ àti àwọn ọjọ́ tí ìjọba bá kéde ìsinmi lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Tẹ̀lá wá rọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ilẹ̀ yìí tó kójú òṣùwọ̀n láti lọ forúkọ wọn sílẹ̀ o láti ṣe àmúlò àǹfààní yìí. Bákan náà ló ní àwọn tó bá fẹ́ pààrọ̀ ibùdó ètò ìdìbò wọn tàbí ìpínlẹ̀ lè padà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tí àwọn tí káàdì ìdìbò wọn bá ti bàjẹ́ tàbí sọnù
náà sì lè gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ bákan náà. Àwọn tí kò tí ì gba káàdì ìdìbò wọn náà ní àǹfààní láti lọ gbà ó ní ọ́fíìsì àjọ INEC tó bá wà ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ tí wọ́n wà. Àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe lẹ́ka iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, ètò ààbò àti nǹkan ọ̀sìn nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tó ti jẹ́jẹ́ àkọ́tún ìfaraẹnijìn wọn láti tẹ̀lé àwọn òfin àti ìlànà tó wà nílẹ̀, èyí tó ń dènà dídá ẹran jẹ níta gbangba àti àwọn ìlànà mìíràn tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú òfin náà tọdún 2019, èyí tí àtúnṣe ti dé bá láti lè pèsè ààbò ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ àlàáfíà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe náà sọ̀rọ̀ yìí níbi ìpàdé àpérò èyí tí àjọ tó ń rí sí àkóso ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ àwọn òfin tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣètò nílùú Ìbàdàn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ síwájú sí i.
Ìpàdé àpérò ọ̀hún tí wọ́n pe àkórí rẹ̀ ní ṣíṣe àmúṣe òfin tó de fífi ẹran jẹko tàbí dídaran jẹ níta gbangba nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tọdún 2019 tí àtúnṣe ti dé bá ló ṣe ìkójọpọ̀ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò, àwọn agbófinró, àwọn àgbẹ̀, àwọn darandaran, orí adé, ọrùn ìlẹ̀kẹ̀, aṣáájú àwùjọ àti ti agbègbè tó fi mọ́ àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ àwùjọ láti jíròrò lórí ọ̀nà láti ṣe àmúṣe àwọn òfin tí í ṣe ti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Béèyàn bá sọ pé ètò ọ̀hún ló jẹ́ ìtẹ̀síwájú àyàn àjọ tó ń rí sí àkóso ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ àti ṣíṣe àmúṣe àwọn òfin nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kò sí rọ́ níbẹ̀ rárá, nítorí pé irúfẹ́ ìkójọpọ̀ báyìí ló ti kọ́kọ́ wáyé ṣáájú lórí ọ̀nà láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ làásìgbò fífi ẹran jẹko, dídá ẹran jẹ níta gbangba àti ṣíṣe àkóso àwọn agbọn nǹkan ọ̀sìn nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Nígbà tó mẹ́nu bà àwọn òfin náà, ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ fún ilé-ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn ti kóòtù ìbílẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, adájọ́ fẹ̀yìntì Wàsíù Àkànbí, ó ṣe lálàyé pé wọ́n ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn òfin ọ̀hún láti lè fi wá ojútùú sí ọ̀pọ̀ ìpèníjà tó súyọ láwùjọ wa báyìí ni bíi làásìgbò láàrin àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti àwọn Fúlàní darandaran, èyí tí ó ń dúnkokò mọ́ àlàáfíà àwùjọ wa. Adájọ́ fẹ̀yìntì Àkànbí ó ní àwọn òfin ọ̀hún ló wà ó láti fẹsẹ̀ àlàáfíà múlẹ̀, pèsè ètò ààbò fún kó wá, tí ó sì tún jẹ́ ọ̀nà láti fi ìyà jẹ ẹni yòówù tí ó bá tàpá sí òfin náà. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, alága àjọ tó ń rí sí àkóso ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ àti ṣíṣe àmúṣe àwọn òfin tó jẹ́ tìjọba nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, adájọ́ fẹ̀yìntì Adéròkè Adérẹ̀mí ṣe lálàyé pé yàtọ̀ fún àwọn òfin èyí tó ti wà nílẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí, ó ní àti àwọn èyí tí wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ sí báyìí, ó ní ṣíṣe àmúṣe àwọn òfin wọ̀nyí ló jẹ́ nǹkan pàtàkì sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ó ṣe lálàyé pé òfin tí kò bá jẹ́ bí bọ̀wọ̀ fún kò lè ṣe ojúṣe rẹ̀ tàbí kí ó kó ipa kankan láwùjọ wa. Ó tẹnumọ́ pàtàkì títẹ̀lé òfin tó de fífi ẹran jẹko, dídá ẹran jẹ níta gbangba. Ó ní èyí ṣe pàtàkì nítorí pé pàtàkì àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ ló wà láti lè fi ẹsẹ̀ àlàáfíà múlẹ̀, ìpèsè ètò ààbò tó dájú àti ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Nítorí pé a ti rí gbogbo wàhálà tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri lórí àwọn farms wa ní Ọ̀yọ́ State, farm settlement àtàwọn private farms. A wá pé àwọn herders pé èyí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí tó ń pààyàn tí wọ́n ń jókòó yìí àfẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa come together. Ọ̀yọ́ State, we love peace. A fẹ́ àlàáfíà kó jọba nínú state wa. Ẹ mọ irú ẹni tí gómìnà wa jẹ́. Gómìnà tó fẹ́ àlàáfíà ni wọ́n jẹ́. Wọn ò kì í fẹ́ ìjà kankan. So wọ́n á ní ká pè wọ́n papọ̀, a sì pè wọ́n papọ̀. There was a communique. Wọ́n agree at a decision. Decision yẹn lára ẹ̀ òun ló fi wá bí èyí tá a ṣe lénìí. Lénìí tá a wá ṣe bí ẹni pé àwọn farmers o àti àwọn herders o wọ́n wá níbi round table conference wípé ó yá ó ti tó gẹ́. Ẹ̀yin méjèèjì lè máa wá solution sí problem ta ní báyìí o. Àwọn méjèèjì ó sì wá jọ mí lójú o. Wọ́n wá come together pé àwọn máa form association papọ̀. Àwọn máa wá solution sí problem.
Adájọ́ fẹ̀yìntì Adérẹ̀mí gbé òṣùbà fún àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe lágbọ̀n yìí tí wọ́n ń tẹ̀lé àwọn òfin náà tí wọ́n sì ń pa wọ́n mọ́ pẹ̀lú, tó fi mọ́ àwọn tó ń ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún wọn, àwọn bíi ikọ̀ ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò, àwọn agbófinró, àwọn aṣáájú àwùjọ, àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti àwọn darandaran, títí kan àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ ní nǹkan ṣe lágbọ̀n yìí. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ náà, alága ẹgbẹ́ àwọn Mihaiti Allah tó jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn darandaran nílẹ̀ yìí lẹ́kùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ yìí, Alhaji Mohammed Kabiru Lamba ó jẹ́jẹ́ ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ wọn pẹ̀lú ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti gbogbo àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe lágbọ̀n yìí láti lè jẹ́ kí àfojúsùn ètò náà kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ.
bá ó ṣe bára wa ṣe pọ̀ tí ó fi ní sí gbọ́nmi sí omi òtó láàrin ara wa tí ó fi jẹ́ pé ọrọ̀ ajé méjèèjì kò ní parun tí ó fi máa wà ní ti ìgbàlódé àti bá a ṣe ń bá a bọ̀ à sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lórí wípé àwọn òfin tí wọ́n fi lélẹ̀ yẹn báwo la ṣe fi kún báwo la ṣe yọnú ẹ̀ báwo la ṣe máa ṣe tí ó máa fi rọrùn fún àwa méjèèjì tí ò fi ní ní wá lára àwa la nílùú àwa la lọ́ra ajé tá à ń ṣe àwa la ń ṣe fún àwọn aráàta bí ó ṣe máa rọrùn fún wa bá a ṣe máa jọ gbé pọ̀ lálàáfíà òun là ń sá fún Nàìjíríà gbogbo la mọ̀ ibi káàkiri bí wàhálà tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Ọ́yọ́ state àti àwọn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wa káàkiri adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ náà wípé kò sẹ̀ nípa ọrọ̀ ajé yìí wàhálà òfin bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn pọ̀.
Aṣojú ẹgbẹ́ àwọn àgbẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ọlọ́sìn àwọn ẹgbẹ́ baálé àgbẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe lágbọ̀n yìí àwọn náà tẹnumọ́ pàtàkì àmúṣe àwọn òfin yìí tí wọ́n sì jẹ́jẹ́ àjọṣepọ̀ tó dán mọ́rán.
Ìjọba Ọ̀yọ́ established the council in 1994 mandate yẹn fún wa ni pé something to exist among family àwọn táwọn ní pọ́ńtù fún òun pípa lè wà lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ ó sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́. We have done a lot of groundwork tẹ́gbẹ́ àwọn ọmọ òjò ṣiṣẹ́ nígbà tí ẹ̀dá ń dá report fún wa àti dá lọ́gbà pé peter kò fẹ́ ṣe ìdìbò wájú ti dé dòwò àdìgbò tó lè ṣẹ́tù tí àwọn ọba yìí sábàjọ jẹ́ corporate.
Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ kọmíṣánná fún ọ̀rọ̀ àyíká àti nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì inú ilẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ onímọ̀ ẹ̀rọ Adémọ́lá Adérìntọ́ àti akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ tó wà fún ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ àgbà àti ìdàgbàsókè ìgbèríko nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ amòfin Ọlásùnkànmí Ọlálẹ́yẹ ẹni tí ọ̀mọ̀wé Bùkọ́lá Akínlẹ́yẹ sojú fún wọn tẹnumọ́ pàtàkì ìdí tó fi yẹ láti fòpin sí àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ wọ̀nyí láwùjọ wa.
a rí i pé ó ń jẹ́ kí ètò ààbò kó mẹ́ẹ̀ ó ń jẹ́ kí ká lè rí oúnjẹ sùwábọ̀ ó ń jẹ́ kó di àwọn nǹkan tó nira fún wa pàápàá ètò ìlera wa ó ń ní ipa tí ò dá lórí ẹ̀ torí pé báwọn àwọn ẹran tá à ń dà kiri àtàwọn ọ̀sìn tá à ń dà kiri ibi tán bá rí iná máa ṣe gásí ibi tán bá rí ohun tán bá rí iná máa tẹnu bọ̀ kiri ó dẹ̀ lè fa àìsàn ó lè fa àrùn tó jẹ́ pé yóò ní ipa tí ò dá lórí ayé àwọn èèyàn wa lórí iṣẹ́ àwọn èèyàn wa torí bẹ́ẹ̀ la ṣe ń rọ gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ká jọ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ à ń tọ́jú ohun ọ̀sìn kán tọ́jú wọn sí agbègbè tó ti ṣe lọ́jọ́ fún nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn.
Lára àwọn tí wọ́n bá wọn péjú síbi ètò ọ̀hún ni akọ̀wé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Musbah Babatunde kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìdájọ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹni tí tún ṣe amòfin àgbà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Abíọ́dún Àìkọmọ alága àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ lójú pópó nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ajagunfẹ̀yìntì Adékọ̀yà Adéṣàgbà àti àwọn ìkàn mìíràn. Adémọ́lá Balógun ló ń ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ BCOS.